let's take a look at our Enlighten product. Simply typing in a URL in a browser takes you to the login page, and on the login page you type in a username and enter a password. Each user has specific permissions, layers, functionality that is assigned to them that's determined by the login. And as we log into this, the system is easy to set up with its web-based administrative backend for users and assigning permissions, which layers they can see. So what you see in front of you is a classic GIS map. This is a water district, and you can see the water pipes, the main assets of reservoirs and pump stations. On the right is a broadcast area where you can broadcast news, etc. That can be minimized. And on the left is a set of available layers that turns itself on and off as one zooms in and out of the map. On the top is the icon toolbar. You can use small icons or large icons. So if we look at this, just running through the icons gives us a good sense of the functionality. This is the search function. Clicking that will take you into the search functionality. The red line functionality is accessible through this. Plotting. Enlighten delivers full high-resolution plotting from a browser, including aerial imagery and using plot templates. And then there's the usual slew of bookmarks and zoom to a coordinate or a window, zoom in and out, zoom previous, and zoom next, and then zoom the extents and pan. Now all of these pan and zooms are easily available, readily available on the map by simply rolling your mouse on a given position. So if I roll my mouse in, or if I click the middle mouse button, so if I just zoom right in by rolling the mouse, Enlighten will switch on the layers. If you click the middle mouse button, you can just pan and zoom and automatically deal with the data. So you can see there's an interactive map that is being displayed for the user. And as we zoom in and out, different layers get turned on and off as set up by the admin. So let's look. First thing is it's an interactive map. So as I move my cursor over any object, I get information. Let's just zoom right in on an area and load up that map. So looks like these pipes are somewhat crisscrossed, so that's a water pipe. Obviously a different zone, and so you can go in and in fact turn data on and off. So if I wanted to see the water pipes by zone, I could turn that on and off, and now I've got them highlighted by different colors in different zones. Turn off the aerial imagery, and you can zoom in and out and see that. So there's your different water zones. As you go in on a specific functions, let's go and look at some details on the network. So you can move your mouse over it. Here's a pipe, and you get the tooltip, so that's a zone 2 pipe. And when I had the other layer switched on, I got the diameters. If I move over a given any kind of node, here's an air release valve. Note that I'm getting a tooltip out of the database of the elevation and the estimated pressure. So you can get estimated pressure on any of these valves. So data that you've put in is what you can get out. We've got the parcel addresses. So if for example you wanted to go to a specific spot, you could type in a search. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me first just show a little more information. So I've shown you pan and zoom. You can just drag your mouse, move the map, zoom in and out, and get to see any of that information. So let's go and look at a spot. Let's find this here, and as you can see, just rolling the mouse in and out. So here's a complicated arrangement. Obviously we've got reservoirs and pump stations. By simply doing a selection, dragging a box, I can select a number of different items. So you'll see now that it did a crossing window and picked those up. So I can drill into each of these. So if I go to the advanced forms, that will bring up a dialog showing everything that I had selected. Now if you had big screen, you could put this on the side, but there are 6 water nodes, and for each one of these I can go in, and as I click on it, you'll see down the bottom here it is changing the attributes of this specific feature. So this is reading data out of the database, so it's relying on all the work done in Munsys to capture this information. And so we have this information. So if you look here, we've got say parcels, and in parcels I have basic information that I can click on and scroll through. So anything on the map you can drill down. There's functionality hidden in here too. You can select any one of these, zoom to it on a map, get a report out in a spreadsheet, etc. So just a quick and easy way to get a list of things selected, sorry, a tree here of what different features were selected, a list of each one as you click on it, and then the details down here. So this is a list, a tree list detailed view dialog. So that's just a quick way of working through this information and finding where you're at. Let's say, for example, you did want to go to a specific spot. So we can clear the selection. That would be this icon here. And just while I'm through the icons, this here would be a set of selections. So you can save a specific selection set, because that would allow you to do reports on that, etc. This is refresh. Advanced forms, I showed you that already. And just to finish rounding out the icons available, now once again, for this specific user, their login determined what functions they had and hence which icons. This would be network trace. We'll do that in a minute. This is a shut-off report or recording a burst on the screen, and then you can have layer filters. Down here is home. We've got settings. If you're admin, you have that, and on and off, and you can turn on the info panel. So let's go and find a specific property. So typically someone would call up the map, have no idea where they were. They could click search, and so this is a configured search. And let's say we're looking for 12810, and the name is something like that. It contains, and there are all these parameters, so if you specifically know starts, end with, that can be set in there. And there's various searches available. So if you wanted to search by an asset ID, you could choose that search. In this case, we'll do an address search. So let's go in and find that. If there is one item, it will zoom directly to that. So this parcel is 12810. If I put, for example, a wildcard in the search, and run that again, just to show you, you get then a selection. There are 17 different parcels that satisfy that, and so this would be the one I'd be interested in, and there's its information. So looking at this, the tooltips that are available is very powerful. Searching and finding a home like that would be powerful. Let's just take a little bit more of a look at those tooltips. So what we're interested in here is essentially a water map. And so the pipe itself has a water zones turned on at the moment. You can drill down. By default, we have water pipes on. So I just turn on the blue pipe. So there's a tooltip on that. The particular parcel also has specific tooltips on features like the service connection. So this little zigzag line is a line that was drawn from the CAD drawing. It's to essentially zigzag like it to show that it's an estimated. We also do have GPS positions for where the meter would be, but this would be the service connection, and associated with that we've set up the GeoPortal functionality to look at not only the parcel information, but the water consumption in the last 3 months. So it gives you a good view just for a sort of a quick overview of the last 3 months of consumption. So you can see as you move your mouse over these properties, we're getting data and getting an idea. That's a drill down, because that data clearly comes from a different database. And so we can look at that information. While we're here, we've also, we can go in and, in fact, let me turn off the aerial image and zoom out a little bit. Maybe that's a lot. But let's turn on another one where we're using that billing information to find all parcels that have had 4 times the water usage as compared to the previous 2 months. So what I'm going to do then is turn that on. So all of these parcels with the red are showing us specific parcels where consumption is somewhat exaggerated. So that's what we're talking about, where consumption is kind of off the charts for these specific ones. So you can see, look at that. That's at least more than 4 times what the average of the previous 2 months to that were. So just another analytic tool for being able to find, drill down through your data and work on it. And that's really the power of the GeoPortal. So let's just go to back to this particular image, and let's look at if we had reported here that there was in fact a water leak. So let's kind of say we need to shut off this pipe. So we can select that pipe and do some of the advanced functionality, which is essentially built on the fact that in Munsys, in the data editing tool and data model, we've built out a connected attributed network. So this pipe knows what it's connected to. It knows where the valves are, and we've built that information out. So let's go and do the water trace. So it's as simple as this. If I was at the front desk, zoomed to this parcel, somebody told me it's outside this address, I select the pipe, click on this function, and now we're in this functionality. Of course, as this user has been set up, they have access to that functionality. So we can go in and on this dialog determine what we want to look at. So we want to do a full trace, so it does a bidirectional because this is a pressure system, and we can run the trace from the browser. So this clearly shows there are 2 valves that need to be shut off, and they're highlighted with these big fat red markers, and there are 13 pipe segments affected. 25 parcels and 25 people will be without water. You can see it as a full directional trace. It's picked up any dead ends, including all of these. Even though there was an individual valve right here, even if you don't shut that valve off by closing the other 2, this is going to terminate the water to that area. So now you can do a report on this. You can show the report, get a listing of the specifics. So there'd be the details of the pipe, and we can drill down into the parcel for that. So that's the trace and break analysis that you can do. Let me just show you one more thing while I'm here. Let's go in and select that parcel again and do that advanced form on it. I want to show you also the drill down into the parcel. Now, this is the parcel table. In a different system, we've set up a linkage to the billing history for that particular parcel. So if I click there, I now see the most recent record within, or the first record within that listing. You may notice that it's one of 34. I could scroll through them. If I really don't want to scroll through each particular one, let me move that up so we've got more space. I could double click over here, and that will drill into that database and give me the full summary listing in date order. So here I have water readings from 2010 for this parcel running through right down to the current most recent read. So just to illustrate then, within Enlighten, you have at your fingertips drill down functionality. Within those forms, you can edit information as well, but this is an easy to use, highly powerful system for users to be able to work on their data and get information directly at their fingertips.